Namibia's Marshal Rangers are a group of civilians who have made it their mission to work with law enforcement and enhance the safety and security of all Namibians. Here is this week's crime report.
We're going to be focusing more on crime today in the sense that I'm concerned about our tourists, our visitors to this country that are being dealt with a very bad blow when they arrive at our country, to be robbed or mugged or even have their vehicles taken off them. And this is a very concerning thing due to the fact that tourism is our second highest revenue in Namibia. And we are actually appealing to the public to, take care of your guests and people visiting. We had an incident recently at the Marua Spa lifestyle center where a tourist and his family came. They just arrived in Namibia. They went into the shops, and as the man was walking towards the shop, a gentleman walked up to him and said, "Sir, you have to pay for the parking." So he went back to his vehicle to go and get money to pay for the parking. At this point, two men jumped him. They took the keys of the car. They actually fled with the vehicle with all their goods in it. Now, since then, City Police has apprehended one of the suspects, but who needs to face such things? Guests are arriving at guest houses, and as they arrive, guys jump out the vehicles and then they mug them by knife point. This is ridiculous. We should not be allowing this. We ask people and we appeal to people, especially guest houses and that. Keep an eye, put cameras outside your places so that if something like this happens, it's easy for the police to identify it. We have another problem at the moment is we've got a lot of squatters all over Windhoek. Yes, we are speaking to City of Windhoek and bylaw, and they're trying to remove the squatters, but these guys are still affecting residential areas. This weekend that's just passed, a lady went to Okahanya to visit her family, to come home to find her roof had been cut open and all her goods had been taken. They jumped over the wall by the river and they got into her place by cutting a hole through the roof, and they just left her with chaos and a lot of loss. Another thing is these street kids. People, we don't realize what future problem we're dealing with. We ask and we appeal so many times to the ministry and to City of Windhoek to assist. These kids are sniffing petrol and they're standing at the robots, and what they're doing is they're even standing in underwear, begging at the robots. People, you helping them. I know it's children, I know you have a heart for the children, but by helping them with money and stuff, you're actually encouraging this habit. And what's going to happen when they grow older and nobody can play on sympathy anymore? They're going to become criminals. So now we're just going to end off with two accidents that happened. We had a recent accident on the Western Bypass at a regular spot where people are going over the Western Bypass between the location and Northern Industrial. It's a very high traffic, and of course it's been made 80 kilometers per hour, but still people don't adhere to the rules. So we had a DOA yesterday, which means dead on arrival. And yes, last night we had an incident where a young lady was knocked over by the Olympia public pool, and the driver just left, hit and run, left her in the middle of the road. People, let's consider each other. Let's take into account that lives matter. Be wise and save lives.
More and more incidents of reckless driving and unnecessary loss of lives on our roads are being reported. Let's take a look at some of the sobering images of accidents that occurred recently. Please, people, respect life, yours and that of others. Some learners from Chris Junior Private School in Ondangwa popped into the studio this week. And with that,